Well, it's a good evening. We've got a special let's talk about number 2. I'm here at St Peter's in Humberston tonight, so I've got Jesus on my shoulder behind me tonight, so what an honour and a privilege. So yeah, let's talk about this edition is dreams. So let's talk about dreams. A very mysterious. What are dreams? Like, what does our when we sleep, our subconsciousness, where do we go? Where do we travel? Are we tapping into parallel universes, or other dimensions? It's a very mysterious subject matter. So I've got some bicycles. So yeah, so when we sleep, obviously we're sleeping. Our body it repairs itself, and when we're in adolescence we grow as well. It's quite a phenomenon in itself. So like obviously when we're awake in the living world, the awakened world, when we do go to sleep, our consciousness and translates all that information we're going through everyday life, waking life, and our subconsciousness is like trying to decode that. So all that information is like scrambling all this information, streams and streams of data. So some give you like kind of warnings. I've had like dreams of the future before. It's pretty interesting. Obviously you had renowned psychologists Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung saying most dreams of kind of sexual tendencies or suppressed sexuality. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not a psychologist, so I wouldn't like to comment, but most of them, they say there's messages in there, say repressed sexual desires or something. It's pretty mad. So obviously you dream of people that are familiar with yourselves, or you dream like of complete strangers, which I kind of think's quite interesting in itself. Hi gents. So obviously when you dream, it can give the ideas of creativeness, which is some artists inspired to. I believe Steve Jobs came across a dream where he came up with the idea for Apple and the Apple Mac, and now he's passed away. Is now a multi-billion-pound business each year. So yeah, I like talking of dreams. I had a very vivid dream. It was quite bizarre. So there's been a lot about a certain celebrity that's been outcasted. He's been shamed recently. There's a promiscuous sexual activity with young boys, grooming young boys, namely Philip Schofield. So I had a dream recently, a few days ago. This is why I came up with the idea of like dreams. It was bizarre, so I was telling my friends about it and they was laughing their heads off. But yeah, I dreamt that I see Philip Schofield in my dream, and he was down the bottom of the street where I was, and he was sat in a convertible, like sports type car, like Mercedes or BMW, I don't know the make. I was like, what are you doing down here, Philip Schofield? I was like, picking up these rocks, so I was like throwing them at him, and one bounced off his head, like cut his eye. He's like, argh! And then like next thing I know, he's up on this high rise building. He's up there and his car's up there with him. Don't ask me how he got his car up there. And there he's like throwing stones up at him, and then one hits him on the head again, and he's like, boy, and he falls and face plants into the ground. I think I stoned him to death. Like, and obviously lost his job after that. And the revelations, like, wow, mind-blowing. But obviously I've seen a lot of it on the news and social media. So obviously my subconscious, like, obviously he's a dirty, rotten scoundrel. So he deserves his comeuppance, really. But apart from that, so when I was a child at school, we learnt of Joseph, the story of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. And obviously he was treated like the favourite son. And I do believe he had like 11 brothers. I do think there was 12 of them. And Joseph was treated more better, favourable by his father, who's the favourite son. And obviously like, oh Joey, isn't he lovely? And then obviously his brothers despised the love the father gave for Joseph. And it was like, we hate him, let's kill him. Right, and they had enough. So it's like, obviously I think they worked on a farm, agriculture and wheat and barley. I'm not sure I want around them days. So I think Josie had a series of dreams. His dad gave him this like pimp multicolour coat. It was great. So he had this coat and he's walking around. But he had dreams, he had the power to interpret dreams, and he kept having dreams when he was younger, that there was like a stack of wheat and all these other wheat was bowing to him. So he told his father and his brothers, and obviously he resembled the wheat and everyone, his brothers bowed to him. There's like, we're not bowing to you, who do you think you are? Joey, Joseph. So obviously he had another dream, and it's about the sun and the moon and the stars. I think there's 7 of them, or 12, 11 of them, 12 of them, and then they all bowed to the sun and the stars, sun and the moon, sorry. So he talked over the dinner table, and it's like, no, we're not bowing to you, Joseph. So they come up with a scheme. Let's kill him. Just chuck him down the well. They had enough, so they lobbed him down the well, kept him there a bit, and then did a dirty deal, like sold him to some slave master. So they got some secret little backhander. Off he went. I think he went to Egypt. He was sold to the Pharaoh. Was it Potiphar? He just sold to Egypt later on after a few years, because he was a charismatic gentleman, old Joseph. I don't believe it was Jesus's earthly father, Joseph. It must have been another one. I'm not entirely correct on that, but don't shoot the messenger. So obviously he worked up. He was a very charismatic guy. He worked up, and obviously he's a slave, he's a servant, he's not got no life other than to serve the Pharaoh Potiphar. And his wife was a very devious woman, really. There's a few of them about them nowadays. Look at Amber Heard. So yeah, so that's coming later. So he worked to hide, getting up in a position. It was like a servant in the Pharaoh's house. And the Pharaoh's wife fell in love with Joseph, and she like trapped him in this room. It's like, make love to me, Joey. And he's like, no. Like, no, you're my master's wife. I cannot abide by this. So the door opens, and obviously he's standing there, and she's like, not testicle naked, because she hasn't got testicles. Well, who knows? But yes, it's like, he's trying to rape me. He's like, cried rape, the girl who cried rape, like Amber Heard. He's like made up pit full of lies, tried to destroy a man, obviously a husband, Johnny Depp at the time. But like poor Joseph, he was tried, found guilty, slung in prison for the rest of his days. Poor lad. And then obviously everyone believed the wife, because he was a servant, a slave. Just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So he's in prison and that. I think he's like sharing a cell with someone who's a cupbearer and a baker. So they get talking, Well, it's 6:30. So they get talking, and then obviously he interprets dreams. So Joseph, so the cupbearer talks about his dream, and his dream was about 3 vines, and grapes came, and he like made wine for the Pharaoh, and he supped it, and the Pharaoh, Sir Potiphar, supped it. And then he said, what does this mean? What does this dream mean? He said, well, in 3 days you'll be reinstated by the Pharaoh and you'll have your position back. But remember, I told you this prophecy, this dream, and you must help me get out of prison. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, Joey. Sorted, mate, sorted. So obviously 3 days passed, he got out. Pharaoh reinstated his position, but the cupbearer, he forgot about his promise. A couple of years went, well, that's later. So the other guy, the baker, he's like, well, I had a dream as well, Joey. Yeah, Joey. I dreamt that I had 3 bread loaves and these birds was pecking away at them. What does this mean? He's like, oh, well, it means in 3 days you're gonna be decapitated by the Pharaoh, and the birds are gonna eat the what's rest of your body. It's like, oh, okay, thanks for that, Joey. What a conversation killer he turned out to be. Bar steward. So 3 days passed. He's a goner. So time passed. Obviously the cupbearer's in his mint position, shaking up cocktails and that for the Pharaoh. Drink. And here comes. Well, obviously the Pharaoh, Potiphar, he's having a series of dreams and that. He keeps dreaming of like these 7 fat cows, like all lush, coming out the river, and then seven like bales of wheat, good wheat, and 7 bales of dying wheat. He keeps having these recurring dreams, driving him insane. So he talks to the cupbearer. I've had this dream again this same night. Ah, what's it mean? And then he remembered, oh, there's someone in prison. Oh, Joey, you know, my mate down at fucking Nick. He talks about dreams. He'll tell you what they mean. So, quick, get this man. So they got him out. Come on, get him to me. So Joseph, calm as casual as you like, said, yes, master. What is the problem? So, well, these dreams are doing my flaming head in. So, oh, what dreams, master? Well, these 7 calves keep coming out the river, then River Nile, and then 7 skanky ones eat them. Oh, interesting. And then there's another dream where 7 great stacks of wheat, and then 7 rubbish ones, and they're dying. You're like, oh, that is very interesting, master. So I do believe like God is giving you a sign. He's saying there's going to be 7 years of great harvest, lush, rich harvest, and 7 years of bad one. There's going to be a famine. What, son? A famine? All the people will starve to death. There'll be anarchy on the streets. Oh, let's prepare this warning from God. So so they did. So the 7 years of the goodness, they all ate very good, and they prepared for the 7 years of bad that was to come. So they did what Joseph foretold in his dreams, or he interpreted it in the Pharaoh Potiphar's dreams. So he saved the day. Oh, Joey saved the day. And then obviously he's a hero. He's a hero to the people. He's the people's champion. Pharaoh loves him. He's his main man. He gives him the greatest position in Egypt. He's like governor. He's running things now. So couple of years later, so forth, Joseph family come to Egypt, and obviously need a bit of help. They're in a bit of dire straits. And then they come to Pharaoh and they learn that their brother Joey's got this great job, he's a very powerful man. And they're like, oh, he's brother Joseph, Joey, he's made a name for himself. And do you know what? They all bowed to him. So his dream came true. Remarkable, that. It's a remarkable tale. Oh Joseph, oh Joey, oh Joey, isn't he lovely? Oh yeah, I think dreams are magnificent. If you have some crazy dreams and you want to put them in the comments, like, I welcome it. But yeah, mysterious. It's a mysterious subject, old dreams. What are they? Where do they come from? So the crossover between consciousness and subconsciousness is like, you find me scientists that can answer like the obituaries, what happens in REM sleep, why this is. It's magnificent. So I just thought, yeah, let's talk about dreams. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep an eye out for next series, next instalment of the series Let's Talk About. So I have just done the Barefoot video, Barefoot Chronicles. I do believe it's number 5 at St Peter's in Humberston. And keep an eye out for more over the summer. I've got a few good projects lined up and things that I'll be finishing off. So please like, subscribe, take care of yourself and each other.